So coming to the first chapter, that is rational, irrational numbers and surds. So we'll see rational numbers, irrational numbers as well as surds. So coming to what is rational numbers. So a rational number is any number that can be named in the form a by b. A rational number is any number that can be named in the form a by b. Alright, a by b, such that a and b both are integers. A and b both are integers. I hope you are able to see clearly. A by b, a and b, a and b are both integers, and b is not equal to 0. If b is equal to 0, that becomes an undefined number. Alright, so a rational number has to be in the form a divided by b, and where a and b are both integers and b is not equal to 0. So taking a look at some properties of rational numbers, that is number 1, let's see. So any addition, subtraction, multiplication or division of rational numbers, always remember, any addition, subtraction, multiplication or division of rational numbers is equal to a rational number only. So suppose 3 by 4 plus 5 by 7, we have added this. So 3 by 4 again multiplied by 5 by 7, or divided by 5 by 7, or subtracted by 5 by 7. If we perform 3 by 4 plus 5 by 7 multiplied by multiplication by 5 by 7, division by 5 by 7, or subtraction by 5 by 7, the result is always a rational number only. These two are rational numbers, therefore there's addition, subtraction, multiplication, division results are rational numbers only. Now a set of rational numbers is commutative for the operation of addition and multiplication. Alright, so second property is a set of rational number, that is 1 by 5 plus 3 by 7, alright, is equal to 3 by 7 plus 1 by 5. Both their results are equal, so it is commutative. Addition of rational numbers or multiplication of rational numbers, that is 1 by 5 into 3 by 7 and 3 by equals to 3 by 7 into 1 by 5. That is, their addition and multiplication both are commutative in nature. Alright, I hope you are clear till now the concept what I just told. Alright, so it is also associative. Alright, so number 3, third property is the addition or multiplication of rational numbers, that is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 whole plus 1 by 4 equals to 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4. Alright, it is associative. Similarly is the case with multiplication. Alright, associative. Addition of rational numbers is associative, that is whole 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4 equals to 1 by 2 plus whole 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4. That is, it is associative addition. Also multiplication is also associative. Addition and multiplication both are for rational numbers are commutative, that is 3 by 4 plus 5 by 7 equals to 3 by 7 plus 1 by 5 plus 3 by 7 equals to 3 by 7 plus 1 by 5. That is, it is commutative. Also 1 by 5 multiplied by 3 by 7 equal to 3 by 7 multiplied by 1 by 5. Alright, rational numbers is commutative as well as associative. You can see addition is associative, multiplication is also associative. 1 by 2 into 1 by 3 whole into 1 by 4 equals 1 by 1 by 2 into whole 1 by 3 into 1 by 4. Alright, so multiplication is also associative. So you will just learn the commutative and associative properties of rational numbers. Now coming to Identity elements of rational numbers. Always remember 0 and 1 are the identity elements of rational numbers. Alright, identity, and they exist for operations of additions and multiplications, alright, respectively. 0 exists for operations of addition and 1 exists for operations of multiplication. Alright, 0 and 1 are the identity elements of rational numbers. 0 and 1. Alright, 0 and 1 are called the identity elements of rational numbers, and 0 exists for addition, 1 for multiplication. Alright, just I'll show you additive inverse in terms of additive inverse. Alright, additive inverse. What is additive inverse? Suppose we have a rational number 5 by 8, then if minus 5 by 8 is added to that rational number, the sum equals to 0. Alright, their sum equals to 0. Therefore minus 5 by 8 is called the additive inverse of 5 by 8. Therefore minus 5 by 8 is called the additive inverse of 5 by 8. Alright, minus 5 by 8 is called the additive inverse of 5 by 8. So now we'll see multiplicative inverse. We saw additive inverse, now we'll see multiplicative inverse. Alright, multiplicative inverse. So what is multiplicative inverse? Suppose we have 3 by 8. So if we multiply it by 8 by 3, we get the result 1. Alright, so 8 by 3 is the multiplicative inverse of 3 by 8. It's very simple. I hope you have got the concept very clearly. So additive inverse is just will add that subtractive number from the original number, that is 5 by 8 plus minus 5 by 8 equals 0, and if we get 0, that is minus 5 by 8 is called the additive inverse of 5 by 8. And regarding multiplicative inverse, if we have rational number 3 by 8, then we'll just multiply the inverse of that number, that is 8 by 3 with it, and we get 1, that is 8 by 3 is called the multiplicative inverse of 3 by 8. Alright, so now we'll see the properties of distributivity of rational numbers. Property of distributivity. Alright, property of distributivity of rational numbers states that if 2 by 7 is multiplied by 1 by 6 plus 1 by 9, suppose I have taken these rational numbers, one is 2 by 7, it is multiplied by 1 by 6 plus 1 by 9, so the result becomes 2 by 7 into 1 by 6 plus 2 by 7 into 1 by 9. That is, the rational number gets distributed among these two numbers, so the result becomes like this. Alright, so this is the property of distributivity of rational numbers. So I hope it is very clear to you what I just mentioned the concept right now. Alright, now coming to denseness property of rational numbers. Just you remember this, denseness property, denseness property of rational numbers. Alright, denseness property of rational numbers. What does denseness property states? That between two rational numbers there are infinitely many rational numbers. That is, let two rational numbers be half and 3 by 4th. So between half and 3 by 4 there are infinitely many rational numbers. That is only the denseness property of rational numbers. Alright, I hope you got this concept also, that between two rational numbers, that is half and 3 by 4, suppose I have taken just an example, suppose one rational number is half, another is 3 by 4, that is between half and 3 by 4 there are infinitely many rational numbers. Alright, so you got the denseness property. So we'll take a look at an example. we'll just take this example. We have to find four rational numbers between 1 by 4 and 1 by 3. Two rational numbers 1 by 4 and 1 by 3 are given. Alright, 1 by 4 and 1 by 3, two rational numbers are given. We have to find four rational numbers in between them. So how to do it? Just we'll take the first case 1. Alright, taking two rational numbers 1 by 4 and 1 by 3. Alright, we'll draw this line for our own convenience, 1 by 4 here and 1 by 3 here. Alright, 1 by 4 here, 1 by 4 this side, 1 by 3 that side. We are taking this making this drawing for our own convenience. Alright, so case 1. So we have to find four rational numbers, mind it, between these two numbers. So taking the first case, what is the mid value between 1 by 4 and 1 by 3? That is half into 1 by 4 plus 1 by 3. Alright, half into 1 by 4 plus 1 by 3. If we do that, that is a simple concept that is known by everybody, that half into 1 by 4 plus 1 by 3 if we do, we'll find the mid value between 1 by 4 and 1 by 3. So what is that? 1 by 2 into 12, 7 by 12, that is 7 by 24. Alright, so 7 by 24 is the mid value. So this is also a rational number. So one rational number we have got, 7 by 24. Alright, I hope you have got this content. Now we will take these two rational numbers 1 by 4 and 7 by 24 and find again the mid value between them. Alright, so case 2, taking 1 by 4 and 7 by 24. So what is the mid value between them? Half into 1 by 4 plus 7 by 24. Alright, now considering only 1 by 4 and 7 by 24, we don't take that part, and we find these two. Taking these two numbers, we have to find the mid value between them. So taking the same formula, half into 1 by 4 plus 7 by 24, we get alright, so we get 13 by 24 equals 13 by 48. Alright, so 13 by 48 we got after solving this half mid value. So this is 13 by 48. Alright, again we got this number. Now again what we have to take? The mid value between 1 by 7 by 24, the mid value between 7 by 24 and 1 by 3. Now we will take the mid value between 7 by 24 and 1 by 3. So as till now we have got two rational numbers, one is 7 by 24, 13 by 48. Alright, now taking case 3. So I'll just draw this again. Alright, 1 by 4 and 1 by 3. Alright, 1 by 4 and 1 by 3. We got 7 by 24 as the mid value. Alright, and 13 by 48, like these two's mid value. Alright, so now we have to find the mid value between 7 by 24 and 1 by 3. So case 3, again taking, alright, half of 7 by 24 plus 1 by 3. What does it come? Half of alright, half into 15 by 24, 15 by 48. Alright, sorry, 15 by 48. So 15 by 48 becomes another number. So we got the third rational number. Till now we obtained these three rational numbers, 13 by 48, 7 by 24 and 15 by 48. Alright, and the last rational number how we'll obtain? Let's take the mid value between these two numbers. Alright, taking these two numbers at part, let's find the mid value again between these two numbers. Alright, case 4. So half into 15 by 48 plus 1 by 3. So half 15 plus 16 by 48, all right, equals half to 31 by 48 equals 31 by 96. So the mid value between them is 31 by 96. So we obtained the 4, therefore writing the answer here, all right, the 4 rational numbers between 1 by 4 and 1 by 3 are 13 by 48, 7 by 24, 15 by 48 and 31 by 96. all right, these are the 4 rational numbers. This is 48, 31 by 96, 13 by 48, 7 by 24, 15 by 48 and 31 by 96. I hope you are clear with the concept how we derived this. Just taking the par values, that is 1 by 4, 1 by 3, we got the mid value 7 by 24. After taking 1 by 4 and 7 by 24 as the par values, we again obtained their mid value, that is 13 by 48. Again taking 7 by 24 and 1 by 3 as par values, we obtained their mid value 15 by 48. And now finally taking 15 by 48 and 1 by 3 as par value, we obtained their mid value 31 by 96. So we got these 4 rational numbers in between 1 by 3, 1 by 4 and 1 by 3, that is 1 by 4 and 1 by 13 by 48, 7 by 24, 15 by 48 and 31 by 96. I hope you are clear till now. So there is another method which is required to which is a better method in solving the the rational numbers, in finding rational numbers. This is a bit lengthy. This was which I showed just now is a bit lengthy process. Suppose you are asked to find 10 rational numbers, what will you do? If you apply that previous problem, it will take a very long time to solve that. So if you want to shorten the method, so you have to apply this simple formula. all right, so suppose you are required to find 7 rational numbers, 7 rational numbers between 1 by 3 and 1 by 2. So 1 by 3 and 1 by 2 are given. So these are 2 rational numbers. We have to find 7 rational numbers in between 1 by 3 and 1 by 2. all right, so I'll show you the steps how to do it. So I hope you are able to follow what I am doing here. So first we'll find the gap between 1 by 3 and half. all right, 1 by 3 and 1 by 2 are 2 rational numbers. We'll find the gap. So step 1, find the gap. The gap is given by 1 by 2, that is the last rational number, minus the first rational number. 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3 equals to 1 by 6. This is the gap. We found out what is the gap between them. I hope you are clear up till now. all right, now coming step 1 is clear. I hope we just find the gap, that is subtracting the 2 rational numbers, the bigger minus the smaller. all right, so step 2 now. This was step 1. Step 2 now. So dividing the gap by 7 plus 1. Why? Because we have to find 7 rational numbers. all right, so dividing the gap by the number required, the number of rational numbers we require to find, that is n plus 1, that is here it is 7 plus 1. We have to find 7 rational numbers here, so plus 1, that value we have to divide the gap. So what does it come? That is 1 by 6 here is the gap, divided by 7 plus 1 is 8. So 1 by 6 into 1 by 8 equals to 1 by 48. all right, 1 by 48 we obtain. Now So the step 3 now I'll show you. Step 3 is obtaining the 7 rational numbers. Obtaining the 7 rational numbers, how do we do this? It is very simple. Just we have to those numbers between 1 by 3 and 1 by 2, those 7 rational numbers are to be obtained between 1 by 3 and 1 by 2. So just we'll put it in simply by that way. The first rational number is 1 by 3 plus 1 into this obtained 1 by 48, which we obtained in the second step, into 1 by 48. This is the first. The second rational number is 1 by 3 plus 2 into 1 by 48. The third rational number is 1 by 3 plus 3 into 1 by 48. Alright. The fourth rational number is 1 by 3 plus, that is the first rational number, plus 4 into 1 by 48. Alright. I hope you are clear what I am doing here. So the fifth rational number is, I hope you are able to understand, 1 by 3. That is the first rational number, 1 by 3. Everywhere it is common. Plus for the first rational number it is 1 into that or number which we obtained in the second step, 1 by 48. Alright. 1 by 3 again second, plus 2 into 1 by 48. 1 by 3 plus 3 into 1 by 48. 1 by fourth rational number, 1 by 3 plus 4 into 1 by 48. What will be the fifth? 1 by 3 plus 5 into 1 by 48. Alright. Then what is the sixth? Alright, 1 by 3 plus 6 into 1 by 48. And finally the seventh will be 1 by 3 plus 7 into 1 by 48. Alright. I hope you clear the what will be the answer here will be the rational numbers. Alright, solve 1 by 3 plus 1 into 1 by 48. That will be the first rational number. 1 by 3 plus 2 into 1 by 48, that will be the second rational number. 1 by 3 plus 3 into 1 by 48 equals the third. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh will be similarly obtained. Alright, I hope you have got this concept. This is a very easy concept which I just showed you. Instead of using that lengthy formula in finding the mid values of each and every rational numbers and solving the 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 whatever rational numbers are given in between two rational numbers, you just put it in this formula. If two rational numbers 1 by 3 and 1 by 2 are given, suppose, then just put it in this three simple steps. Just solve them using these three simple steps and you will get the answers. Suppose 1 by 3 and 1 by 2 are given, so just you have to find the gap. Gap is the larger number minus the smaller number. That value is obtained as the gap. Now dividing the gap by how many numbers we are required to obtain, plus 1. Alright, so suppose 1 by 6 is the gap and we are required to obtain 7 numbers, so we have to divide by 7 plus 1 here. So 1 by 6 divided by 7 plus 1, that is 8, equals to 1 by 48. Alright, now just putting, third step is to derive those 7 numbers which are required. That is, just put the first number, that is 1 by 3, plus for the first number it is 1 into 1 by 48. 1 by 48 is the number which we obtained in the second step. For the second number, just put the first number 1 by 3 plus 2 into 1 by 48. For the third number, just put the first number, that is 1 by 3 plus 3 into 1 by 48. Alright. Similarly, for the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, just put 1 by 3 into 4 into 1 by 48, 1 by 3 plus 5 into 1 by 48, 1 by 3 into 6 into 1 by 48, and finally 1 by 3 into 7 into 1 by 48, and you will derive all the 7 numbers from 1 by 3, between 1 by 3 and half. Alright. I hope you are clear with this concept which I show in order to find the any number of rational numbers between two given rational numbers. So now coming to the decimal representation of a rational number. So I'll just turn this page. Alright, so decimal representation. So here let us suppose it is the expressive. So we have to express in this problem, we have to express the decimals into fractions. All right, we have to express the decimals into fractions. So suppose in simplest form, these are repeating decimals. All right, what we are showing here are repeating decimals. All right, I hope you are able to understand that what I am saying here. The repeating decimals, like suppose 0.8 bar. I hope you are able to see what here. So express the decimals into fractions. We suppose we are given 0.8 bar, that is 8 is repeating after the decimal, 8 is repeating continuously. All right, so how do we solve it? Let's take, we have to express this as a fraction. So after expressing it as fraction, what do we get? How do we express it as a fraction? 0.8 bar. So I'll show you the method. So taking n as 0. First step, taking n as 0.8 bar. All right, we took n as 0.8 bar. After taking n, suppose in step 2 we take 10n. This is one, equation 1. Equation 2 we take 10n equals to 10 into 0.8 bar, that is multiplying both sides by 10. All right, multiply both sides by 10, we get 10n into 10 into 0.8 bar. All right, so what do we get here? 10n equals to 8.8 bar, because this one decimal comes here, 8 and 0.8 bar, 8 continuing. So this is the equation 2. This is equation 1, n equals to 0.8, and this is the equation 2, 10n equals to 8.8 bar. All right, so subtracting equation 1 from 2. Now subtracting 1 from 2, what do we get? 10n minus n equals to 8.8 bar minus 0.8 bar. All right, so 9n equals to 8. 8.8 bar minus 0.8 bar becomes 8. So n equals to 8 by 9. N equals to 0.8 bar becomes equals to n by 9. So n 8 by 9 is the fraction format of 0.8. 8 by 9 is the fraction format for 0.8. I hope you are clear with this concept. So I'll show you another problem regarding this same concept. I hope then it will be very much clear to you. So we have to convert, suppose taking the second one, 3.216 bar. All right, mind it that 6 bar, it is 6 bar, not 216 bar. 21 and 6 bar, only the bar is above the sixth number. All right, so taking we have to convert this into fraction. All right, fraction form. How do we do that? Taking n, then similarly how we solve the first problem, we'll do this in that manner only. 6 bar, n equals to 3.216 bar. So multiplying both sides by 10. All right, similarly this was the equation 1. After multiplying both sides by 10, what do we get? 10n equals to 10 into 3.216 bar. So what do we get here? That is 10n equals to 32.16 bar. All right, that is the equation 2. Now subtracting 1 from 2, we get 10n minus n equals to 32.16 bar minus 3.216 bar. All right, so just I'll do the minus part here. It is become 0. All right, 5 9 2. So 10n minus n becomes 9n equals to 28.95. all right, second equation. I'm sorry, it's not second equation. After subtracting 1 from 2, we get 9n equals to 28.95. that is 28.9. what can 28.95 be written? I'll just do it here. 9n equals to 28.95. that is 28.95 can be written 2895 divided by 100. all right, 2895 divided by 100. So we get n equals 2895 divided by 900. 9 coming this side in the denominator. So the final answer is 193 by 60. that is n. all right, 193 by 60 is the fraction format for this 3.216 bar. After solving, just we did by the first method only, that is n equals to 3.216 bar. So 10n equals to 32.16 bar. Subtracting 2 from 1, we got 9n equals to 28.95. all right, so 28.95, then n equals to 2895 divided by 900. So n becomes 193 by 60. all right, I hope you are clear with this concept what I have done. I'll just take a look, you will understand by yourself only. n equals to 3.216 bar. So multiply both sides by 10. 10n equals to 10 into 3.216 bar. all right, so it becomes 9n equals to 10n minus n equals to 32.16 bar minus 3.216 bar, which comes 28.95. all right, so 9n equals 28.95 and n equals to 2895 divided by 900. just we are solving for this one, and n equals to 193 by 60. I hope you are clear with this problem of converting into fraction. So we end the rational number part here. Coming to irrational numbers. all right, coming to irrational numbers. all right, so any number a by b, it is not in the form of, which is not in form of a by b, where b not equals to 0. all right, any number which is not represented by in the format a divided by b is known as irrational number, where a and b are integers and b not equal to 0. I hope you are able to get the what is irrational numbers. So irrational numbers are non-repeating, non-terminating decimals. that is, suppose 0.43, had this been rational, what would have been? 43, 43, 43, 43 and till infinity. all right, this is the case of rational numbers. Suppose now we take 0.43. in case of irrational 0.43, what will happen? 0.43, 0.433, 0.43, 433, 4333, again 4333, and likewise continuing. all right, in this you can see this is 43333, 43333, 43333. so it is non-repeating and non-terminating. It is not this is also non-terminating, but this is repeating. There's 43, 43, 43, 43, 43 are repeating, but here it is non-repeating. it is 43 here, 433 here, 4333 here, 433. this case is called irrational. all right, that is irrational numbers. all right, I hope you are clear with the concept of irrational numbers. Now coming to the wheel of Theodorus. Theodorus. Theodorus was an ancient Grecian philosopher who has designed this particular construction. Just you see the construction and remember that. No, just memorize that construction. It is known as the wheel of Theodorus. All right, wheel of Theodorus. That is, I'll just draw it here for you. It consists of right angle triangles. All right, I am just drawing it roughly. I hope you are better able to understand just by seeing this. Just you have to remember this concept, and that's all. This goes in a round shape, that's why it is known as wheel of Theodorus. So it is 1, it is 1 1 1 1. All right, so these are the right angles, all right, of a triangle. This, again this again this. All right, these are the right angles, and here it is root 1, that is equal to 1. This one, root 1 equals to 1. This becomes root 2, this becomes root 3, root 4, root 5, root 6, like that. So I hope you are able to get this concept. All these portions are 1 1 1 1 1 1. All right, and these are root 1, root 2, root 3, root 4, root 5, root 6. These are the right angles. Just you have to remember this concept of wheel of Theodorus regarding irrational numbers. So also now coming to solving some problems regarding irrational numbers. So here we have to show root 3, that is root 3 is not a rational number, that is it is an irrational number. It is understood. We have to show that it is not a rational number, that is it is an irrational number. We use the theory of long division method in order to solve this. We just use long division method to simplify root 3 so as to detect whether it is rational or irrational, and here we have to show it is not a rational number. All right, so let's do it. How to do it? Just by long division method, we'll take here 3. All right, and taking 2 places of decimals, as many as possible. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. I am taking 5 till 5 2 places of decimals. All right, 5 2 places of decimals after 3, after point 3.0000000000. So now you know how to solve using the method of long division. So how do we solve this problem? So 1 into 1 is 1. All right, 1 into 1 is 1. Subtracting, we get 1 minus 3 is 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. All right, now adding this one here, we get 2. All right, now bringing down, this point goes here. All right, and bringing down 0 0. Now 2 into what is 200? We know 27 into 7, 27 into 7 is 189. All right, it is the nearest. 27 into 7 is 189. So, and 28 into 8 becomes, 28 into 8 becomes, it is greater than 200, 224, like that. So we'll take 27 into 7, 189 here. So it becomes 200 minus 189 is 11. Now bringing down this 0 0, and all right, adding this 7 here, what do we get? 14 34. All right, 27 plus 7 becomes 34. All right, I hope you are able to understand the long division method. I also hope that you are already familiar with this long division method. All right, so 3 4 34 and 1 1 0 0. So 343 into 3 becomes 1029. All right. Now 1029 minus 1100, 1100 minus 1029 becomes 71. All right, 71. Now again, so we have brought down these two places of decimals here, these two places of decimals here, remaining are 3. All right, so 343 plus 3 becomes 346. All right, and 71, and bringing down this decimal here, all right, it becomes 00346. all right, now we know 346 2 multiplied by 2 becomes 6924. It is near about 7100, and if 3463 multiplied by 3 is done, then the value becomes greater than 7100, which we can't take. All right, so we'll taking 3462 into 2, so difference is 7100 minus 1649 is 176. all right, now again bringing this down 00, so 2, so 3464. all right, now 3464, now you see 3464 into 3464, 2 into 2, if we do 2 2s are 4, 2s are 8, 6 2s are 18, 2s are 8, 9, 129884, 129884, it becomes very big. all right, so this cannot be done. Now what to do here, we'll just add 0 here, and bring down this last 00. all right, here 00, so the value becomes 1760000. all right, now we'll solve for this 34640. all right, suppose we do 5, all right, into, and here also I'm sorry, just this, since this 0 was substituted here, here also a 0 will get substituted. all right, and 5. all right, so it becomes 1732025. so whatever value we'll get here, after subtraction we get 27975. all right, and we'll further continue this with this process. However, we are seeing that the numerator which we are the quotient, I'm sorry, the quotient which we are getting here is 1732025, and it will continue like that. So it is non-repeating and non-terminating. It is non-repeating and non-terminating, hence root 3 is not a rational number, that is, it is irrational. I hope you are clear. The quotient, we'll see, it is non-repeating, and non-terminating here, and it continues till we solve. If we continue solving, it will continue to till infinity. So 1732025, it can be very well be seen that it is non-repeating and non-terminating, so it is irrational. root 3, that is root 3 is irrational. all right, hence solved by the method of long division. I hope you are clear with this long division method. So just I'll show you another method. It's very one more method of seeing whether it is rational or irrational. That is, suppose we have here 5 root 12. all right, so what is 5 root 12? 5 into 2 into 2, 4 into 3, 12. all right, so 5 into 2 root 3, that is 10 root 3. all right, so 10 root 3 is 10 into 1.73205. all right, so 17.3205 and continuing, it is continuing. So this is non-repeating and non-terminating, it is irrational, it is irrational number. So this, like this method, it can be solved also. Suppose we have, all right, suppose we have root 2 minus root 3 whole square, another problem. all right, so 2 plus 3 minus 2 root 6. all right, 2 plus 3 2 root 6. 5 minus 2 root 6. all right, so this is an irrational number because root 6 is there. Always remember, if root, any value of root is there, it becomes an irrational number. This becomes irrational. By seeing only we get irrational number. Also you remember, this value of root was there. By directly seeing that, it could have been depicted that it is an irrational number. Any value of root is there, it is an irrational number. I'll show you just one more, that is root under 7 plus 1, root under 7 minus 1. all right, so root under 7 plus 1, a plus b, a minus b, a square minus b square, or 7 plus 1 minus 1 is equal to 6. So 6, it is, there is no root here, just a whole number, that is, it is a rational number. I hope you are clear with this concept of irrational and rational numbers. all right, I'll just show one more so that you are clear with the problem. 14 by 2 root 7. How can we do that? Rationalize, there is in the denominator there is root 7, so rationalizing the denominator, root 7 divided by root 7, that is 14 root 7 divided by 2 into 7, that is 2s are 14, that is root 7. So the answer comes out root 7, that is, it has root, so it is irrational number. all right, so I hope you are clear with this concept of rational or irrational numbers. Always remember, if there is root in any format, so automatically it will become irrational. By seeing the number, we can conclude it is irrational. For it to be rational, it has, if an equation is given, by simplification it should come a whole number, then only it becomes rational. Else 5 minus 2 root 6, it is irrational. 5 root 12, after solving it came out irrational. By depicting that it has root 12 only, it can be found out that it is irrational. Here 14 divided by 2 root 7, we just rationalize the denominator as it has root 7. After rationalizing, the answer came root 7 only, so it is clear that it is irrational number. So I hope you are clear with this concept of rational and irrational numbers. Now coming to surds. Coming to surds, so what are surds? Suppose x is a positive rational number, positive rational number, such that, and n is an integer, n is any integer, n is an integer. all right, so x root n should be irrational. If x root n is irrational, this is called a surd. all right, so I hope you got the concept of surd. Suppose x is a rational number, positive rational number, and n is any integer, then x root n is irrational, then only that x root n, this value is called a surd. all right, so suppose we are taking root 98. So what is root 98? 7 into 7 49, 2s are 98, that is 7 root 2. Is this a rational or irrational number? This is not a rational number, that is this is an irrational number, so root 98 is a surd. Alright, this is an irrational number, so root 98 is a surd. Alright, now taking suppose root 7 into root 28, second one, that is the first one, root 7 into root 28. So what is the value? 7 into 2 into 2, that is root 7 into 7 into 2 into 2, that is 2 into 7 equals to 14. Now this is a rational number, 14 is rational. Since this is a rational number, this is not a surd, this is not a surd. Alright, I hope you are clear with this concept of surds. So we have to look at now the concept of rationalizing. Just I'll turn this page. The concept of rationalizing, we need to look at that in order to understand surds better. So suppose we have first 1 by 5 root 3. How do we rationalize? Dividing and multiplying the numerator and denominator both by root 3. Alright, we have 1 by, again I am explaining how do we rationalize 1 by 5 root 3. We have a this number, so how do we rationalize it? So multiplying and dividing the numerator and denominator by this root 3. Alright, we get root 3 by 5 into 3, that is root 3 by 15. This is the rational part of this 1 by 5 root 3. Alright, this becomes the rational part. It is rationalized, it is said to be rationalized, it is said to be rationalized, so root 3 by 15 is the rational part. Alright, I hope you are clear with this concept of rationalization. So again we'll take a look at this. So what is the rational part of, suppose we have this number, we have to rationalize 16 root 30 divided by 5 root 48. Alright, so how do we do that? Just we have to rationalize this problem. This is the second problem we are seeing. How do we do? 16 root 30, alright, divided by 5 root 48, multiply, again root 48 is in the denominator, so multiply and divide by root 48. Multiplying the numerator by root 48 and multiplying the denominator also root 48, that becomes, what do we get here? So we just have to break it up. Alright, 3 into 2 into 5 becomes 30 root 30, 3 into 10, that is 3 into 2 into 5 becomes root 30. So 2 2s are 4, 3s are 12, 2s are 24, 2s are 48. So 48 we have broken up into 2 into 2 into 3 into 2 into 2, and 30 we have broken up into 3 into 2 into 5, and 5 into root 48 into root 48 becomes 48. Alright, so what do we get here? 16 into, so 3 comes out, 2 2 and 2 2, so 3 into 2 into 2 comes out and root 10s remain inside, and 5 into 48, 16 to the 16 3s are 48. Alright, 16 3s are 48 and 3 cancels out. So the answer will write here 4 by 5 root 10. So this is the rationalized answer to the above, to this problem. 16 root 30 divided by 5 root 48, we get this as the answer, 4 by 5 root 10. I hope it's very simple. Just what the root value is in the numerator, I'm sorry, the denominator, you have to multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator by both that root value and simplify to get the required answer. Alright, this is rationalizing. It's very simple. So we'll take a look at a few more complex problems so that you are able to understand the concept better. That is, we have to rationalize now. We have to rationalize the denominators of the following, that is 2 by root 3 minus root 2. Just rationalize. Alright, so what do we obtain? We obtain, how do we rationalize the denominator? We have to rationalize, mind it, this is the given question, 2 by root 3 minus root 2. We have to rationalize the denominator of this number. So root 3 minus root 2, we have to just multiply the denominator by root 3 plus the sign changes, mind it, root 3 plus root 2 and denominator by root 3 plus root 2. I hope you are able to see what I have done here, that 2 by root 3 minus root 2 remains same, multiply the numerator by root 3 plus root 2 and denominator by root 3 plus root 2 also. So solving now, what do we get? 2 root 3 plus root 2 divided by root 3 minus root 2 and root 3 plus root 2 becomes a plus b into a minus b, that is a square root 3 square minus root 2 square, a square minus b square. So, alright, so 2 root 3 plus root 2, that is root 3 square is 3 minus root 2 square is 2, that is 1. The answer becomes 2 root 3 plus root 2. This is the answer. Alright, so I hope you're clear with this concept. Now we'll take a look at another problem so that you are better able to grasp the concept. 5 minus 3 root 2 by 5 plus 3 root 2. This is given. This is a separate one. So 5 minus 3 root 2 divided by 5 plus 3 root 2. So how do we solve that? So we have to again multiply the numerator. What we have to multiply and divide? This is plus, so multiply the numerator by minus, the sign changes, 3 root 2. Alright, and denominator again by the same what we multiplied by the numerator. Alright, 5 minus 3 root 2 numerator multiplication, 5 minus 3 root 2 denominator multiplication. Alright, so what does the numerator becomes? 5 minus 3 root 2 whole square, and denominator becomes a plus b into a minus b, so 5 square minus 3 root 2 square. Alright, so 5 minus 3 root 2, what can we write? A minus b whole square, a square plus b square minus 2ab. So 5 square is 25 minus plus b square minus 2 into 5 into 3 root 2. Alright, divided by 25 minus 3's are 9, 3 into 3 is 9, and root 2 into root 2 is 2, 9 2's are 18, that it becomes 3 root 2 whole square becomes 18. Alright, so 25 plus 3 root 2 whole square is 18 minus 5 2's are 10 to 3 30 root 2. Alright, divided by 7. So it equals, what do we get here? 25 18 43 minus 30 root 2 by 7. 43 minus 30 root 2 by 7, this is the answer. 43 minus 30 root 2 by 7. I hope you are clear with this concept of rationalization. Alright, so just taking a look at another problem. After that we'll wind up this chapter. So here we have to rationalize the denominator and simplify. Alright, so 3 root 2 by root 3 plus root 6 minus 4 root 3 by root 6 plus root 2 plus root 6 by root 2 plus root 3. So we have to rationalize the numerator and denominator. Rationalize the denominator for this problem. Hope you are able to see this problem. Root 3 3 root 2 divided by root 3 plus root 6 minus 4 root 3 divided by root 6 plus root 2 plus root 6 divided by root 2 plus root 3. So 3 root 2 divided by root 3 plus root 6. What do we rationalize here? Root 3 minus root 6 by root 3 minus root 6. Alright, here this is the first. 4 root 3 by root 6 plus root 2 into root 6 minus root 2. What do we do here? Root 6 plus root 2 was there, so root 6 minus root 2 and root 6 minus root 2. This becomes the second, and the third I'll do it here. Root 6 by root 2 plus root 3. It is root 2 plus root 3, so multiplying and dividing the numerator and denominator by root 2 minus root 3. Alright, so the problem becomes like this. Alright, so now 3 root 2 root 6 3 minus root 6 and root 3 plus root 6 into root 3 minus root 6 becomes, alright, 3 minus 6. Alright, this is the so 4 root 3 root 6 minus root 2, root 6 plus root 2, root 6 minus root 2 becomes 6 minus 2. Alright, and plus root 6 root 2 minus root 3 divided by 2 minus 3. Alright, so it becomes 3 root 2 root 3 minus root 6 by 3 minus 6 is minus 3 minus 4 root 3 root 6 minus root 2, 6 minus 2 is 4. Alright, plus root 6 root 2 minus root 3. Alright, 2 minus 3 is minus 1. Alright, so 3 cancels out and minus goes upwards. The numerator root 2 minus root 2 root 3 minus root 6 minus root 3 root 6 minus root 2, and minus 1 goes above numerator, root 6 minus root 6 root 2 minus root 3. Alright, so we get this. Now simplifying, minus root 3 into root 2 becomes 6 minus root 6 and plus root 12. Alright, minus root 18 plus 6 plus minus root 12 plus root 8, I'll write it here downwards, plus root 18. Alright, minus root 18 plus root 18 minus root 12 plus root 12 plus root 6 minus root 3 cancels out. Answer is 0. Alright, so after rationalizing this, we get, finally simplifying, we get 0. I hope you are clear with this problem. Just we have to rationalize the numerator and simplify, we get the answer 0. That's solved. So I'll show you one more problem just for you clearing the concept. It is given root 3 minus 1 by root 3 plus 1 equals to a plus b root 3. Alright, I hope you are able to see the problem. It is given, this is given root 3 minus 1 divided by root 3 plus 1, alright, is equal to a plus b root 3. We have to find a and b. We need to find what is a and what is b. So solving LHS here, LHS equals to root 3 minus 1 by root 3 plus 1, and rationalizing, what do we get on rationalizing the denominator? Root 3 minus 1, the sign changes, and root 3 minus 1. Alright, multiply and divide, multiply the numerator and denominator by root 3 minus 1. Alright, so root 3 minus 1 whole square, and what is root 3 square minus a plus b into a minus b. Alright, so it becomes a minus b whole square, a square plus b square minus 2ab divided by 3 minus 1, that is equal to 3 plus 1 is 4 minus 2 root 3 divided by 3 minus 1 is 2, that is equal to 2 minus root 3. Now LHS is 2 minus root 3 and is equal to a plus b root 3, that is equal to a plus b root 3. So if we compare this, 2 minus root 3 equals to a plus b root 3, we get the value of a is 2 and this root 3 is common, so value of b becomes minus 1. A equals 2, b equals minus 1. That is the answer. I hope you are clear with this concept. So winding up this chapter here. Thank you for your cooperation.